Peace, family. Professor Ree here, back again. Y'all, I am so excited for our final lecture. For those of y'all who do not know, I am Professor Ree LaViolet Botsward, but my students call me Professor Ree. I am teaching at Merritt College in Oakland, California, a course called She Write Black, an exploration of womanish truth-telling. And this whole semester, what we have been doing is exploring all the various ways that Black women are telling our truths about our bodies, our healings, our homes, sisterhood, motherhood, girlhood, sexuality, all these different layers of ourselves and our truths. And for our final lecture of this semester, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by some amazing, inspirational Black women writers and truth tellers. And we are going to get started by letting them introduce themselves. And then we'll get into this panel where we'll just be talking about their writing practice and how their own process of truth telling as Black women has inspired their own healing journey and also folks in our communities. So I want to start with my sis Ish, then we'll go to Sia and Bray. If you can just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, the work you do in your community. Feel free to brag on yourself, give us that bio, all right, so that we can have context about who is blessing us for this panel. Ish, if you could start us off.
Ree, thank you so much for inviting me and inviting us. This is a really special experience for me with knowing you and the name of this course and what y'all are touching on. It really hits home, and I wish that I had this for me when I was, back in college. I am Aisha Walker, also known as Ish. My loved ones call me Mamisha, which is the name that my son gave me. I am a creative, I'm an artist, I'm a healer, I'm a community leader. I am co-founder and CEO of Be Imaginative, which is a powerful collective of folks dedicated to healing our communities through creative storytelling. So the stories are extremely important. It is the narrative that can really allow for us to be imaginative and recreate the conditions that we live in. So it is our duty as Be Imaginative Collective to really help heal ourselves, our families, our communities, and to rewrite this narrative of what it means to be and to exist, to live. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you so much, sis. And I just also want to say that Ish and I are a part of a powerful collective called The Song Remedy, which was started by our fellow panelist, my sis Brittany Tanner, who will speak a little bit more. But I just want to add that to Isha's bio. In addition to the work that she's doing with Be Imaginative, she is also a space holder for the Song Remedy, which is a healing collective, women of color, centering our intergenerational healing from layered trauma and centering that ancestral energy in our healing. So I just want to name and honor that part of your bio as well, sis. And
Thank
so
you.
grateful. Yeah, so
Thank
great.
you so much. Yeah, because the Song Remedy is Be Imaginative sister organization. Thank you so much for naming that. That was really big and important. Thankful for you having my back in that way. That was dope.
Yes, so grateful to have you here. And next, we'll invite Sia. If you can give us a little bit of your bio and share who you are, the work you do as a Black woman, writer, storyteller, truth teller, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm Maricia Gabriel, author of the best-selling book I Twirl in the Smoke, and creator of the live coaching course, Life-Changing Writing in 8 Weeks, Write Your Book, Inspire Others, and Leave Your Mark on the World. And I've also created an online dream course for those who are interested in exploring their dreams in different ways. You're gonna have to help refresh me on the points that I was driving.
Good, thank you. Yeah, just you know who you are and what
Oh,
you do. Anything else you want to share
yeah.
about yourself?
Okay. I'm also I would say maybe an Afro-Francophile. So I'm passionate about um Francophone culture of the African diaspora. And to that end, I was also a French teacher, high school teacher for a long time. And yeah, so I'm happy to be here, happy to be with you and Aisha and Britt, and I really got to explore more truth telling with Be Imaginative, because working with Britt and Aisha on that watch guide and just seeing how committed they were to using the phrases that they wanted to use, the vocabulary that they wanted to include, and
You just went out, sis. I don't know. Is it for you too, Ish? Okay, you just went out, see, we was hearing you just fine. And you said vocabulary and then you cut out.
I don't know what to say. Shoot.
All good, all good.
Oh, you still hear me? Okay, you can hear me now? Okay. Yeah, so I was saying just being in that space and just seeing how committed they were to getting the message out exactly the way that they wanted it, without cutting any corners, and without being apologetic or trying to appease a fictitious listener. So that was a very empowering experience and in alignment with my own experience, as my first book was very much about going deep and telling my story regardless of the fear. I can't say that it was unapologetic in the sense of I felt everything. I felt like I wanted to apologize. I felt afraid. I felt all the things, but I still did it. And there it is. Maybe that's the part that's unapologetic, is that in the end you still do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis. So powerful. So excited to have you here. And that's been a big part of what we've talked about in our class too, is language, like what words we choose to tell our truths and how we don't have to water our truths down. We could say them in all the authenticity, right? In all the ways that honor our fullness. And we don't have to feel pressure to speak anybody else's language about our truth. So I thank you so much for naming that. And the watch guide that Sia is mentioning will be discussed soon. This powerful collaboratory project that these powerful Black women writers created together. So we're excited to learn more about that as well on this panel. And again, Sia, thank you and welcome. So honored to have you here. And we will close out our intros with my sis, Brittany Tanner. Hey, sis.
Hey, Ree. Thanks so much for having me. I feel honored to be in this space with you all, Ish and Sia. I just love this circle of women and so honored to be in the likes of you all. I'm just an artist and I have been honored to be around women who showed me what healing looked like. And I was able to kind of take that and run with it. So a little bit about me, I'm an artist. I've been a singer since I could remember, traveled across the states singing and performing. I am 1/4 of the group Soul Development, and moved here to the Bay Area to teach at Roses and Concrete Community School. And kind of my artistic journey has evolved into me curating healing spaces, and a big part of that was the healing that had taken place from being around Be Imaginative and being in the healing circles that that she facilitated, that we facilitated for When the Waters Get Deep. And then also being around y'all, being around Ree and being around Fadi and Mighty Lynn and Lauren, and kind of seeing how you guys really tackled your healing in a like very intentional way, and it was almost as if you guys had like a blueprint or like a book to do it. And I was able to add my creativity to that, and I created the Song Remedy. So the Song Remedy is a space where we heal, we use our ancestral knowledge to heal ourselves, and we come together, we share, we learn, we reflect, and we have community dialogue about things that are plaguing our community. And I also make songs out of the powerful affirmations that we tell ourselves. So, as a collective and as a collaboration, I come together with community and we make songs out of affirmations. And that is the Song Remedy that Ree and Ish and Sia, you go ahead and be an honorary member too.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, so I've just been honored to like really elevate my musical career and use it for some powerful medicine. I've been through a lot of things. I lost my brother to gun violence in 2019 October 17th, and since then I have gained and learned so many tools to help me through my grieving process. And yeah, I'm just really honored to be here and honored to still be learning and growing in my artistry and in my entrepreneurship journey.
Thank you so much, Britt. And I gotta say, because you left out a part in the bio about the book.
Yeah, you're right.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey and also being an author? Because that's important.
Yeah. So I have written a book called I See You Egoon. And this book was created after a lot of things kind of transpired after I lost my brother. And I really kind of like went on this deep journey of how to heal and how to use my art and music and all these different things to heal. So I wrote a book when I was pregnant um, with my son, Akai, and I started to write it, and it's called I See You Egoon. I said that. It's called I See You Egoon, and I wrote it from the perspective of my unborn child, as if he was speaking to the ancestors and they were preparing him for the journey earthside. So it's really a toolkit to for children to learn how to grieve and just to start the conversation in people's homes. My aunt actually illustrated this book, which is extremely special. She's an amazing artist who I have been encouraging for years to share her art. And yeah, it's not out yet, so yeah, that's why I be forgetting to say something about it because I'm just working on it and it's like in the back of my head. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing book. It's so needed, and it's really just an extension of all the work that I do. It all kind of like coincides, and I've been really blessed to kind of like have all of the different things and different lanes of business that I do to kind of like all meet in one space. So yeah, I See You Go children's book be out. I don't know when, but soon. And yeah, really exciting.
So thank you so much, Britt. So powerful.
Welcome.
So excited for your book. And I'm so excited to introduce my students and our communities to y'all, right? Like we have on this call powerful, transformative Black women, writers, storytellers, truth tellers, right? Through songwriting, through children's books, through narratives, healing circles, all these ways that we're experiencing truth telling, right? Collectively and in our own personal journeys. And I just want to name that When the Waters Get Deep is a documentary film that these three Black women truth tellers had a part in creating and curating. And we'll talk a little bit later about their process of writing collectively a watch guide to guide people into this truth telling narrative. And so, what I experienced from all of y'all is that your personal writing journey is deeply connected to your healing journey, which is deeply connected to your community work. So, my next question is about like your own personal healing journey. And then after that, I want to know about like how that connects to the community work that you do and how you use that. But I want to start off with you. Like, Britt, you talked a little bit about Akai, right, being a mother, losing your brother, like some of those aspects of your healing journey. And I would just love to hear from y'all about your own writing practice, like whether you journal, whether you just write in your notes, Britt, with you when you're writing songs, like how has writing supported your healing journey, and what has your own writing practice looked like? Not for everybody else, not the book that you sharing, but you writing for you to process your own grief and trauma and healing. So the question's open, whoever wants to dive in.
I'll dive in. So I will say that my writing process, first of all, is private. There are a lot of things that I say that I I would never say to anyone else. And it's something that sometimes I'm afraid to do, honestly, and sometimes I kind of shy away from it. And when I need it and I know that I need the healing, I have to kind of like, go back to like, all right, you need to be writing in your journal. You need to be expressing some of the things that you're going through. So the songwriting process for me, like I said, a lot of times it's really private, and I have the capabilities of recording by myself. So a lot of times it takes me a long time to kind of like get out songs and get out exactly what it is that I'm saying. And basically, I don't think a song is right until I sing it and I have all the words written down and it makes me cry. So pretty much every song that I've ever written, like my gauge on like if it's cool or not is if I can cry. If I can cry of it and I'm getting my healing, then I know that I'm doing something right. But like I said, a lot of times I have to kind of like force myself to do it, and like being around women like y'all and like just having I got some really, really dope friends who always like kind of encourage me to write. Like when I'm going through things, I'll talk about it and I'll be venting. And like even Fee, she'll be like, yeah, Britt, I encourage you to write about it. So I've been really, really blessed in that area to have people encourage me when I kind of want to shy away from it and I don't want to do the work, because that can be hard sometimes. Like sometimes you want to just like push it under the rug and not really think about it. But I've been blessed to have people around me that encourage me, and a gift that makes it fun sometimes and also makes it powerful to feel and see the end result if I am sharing it. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Britt. That's so powerful how you talk about like it's private, like first and foremost. And in this class, every week we journal together. So I'll record a lecture, and the whole lecture is just me telling them what the prompt is and me playing my music and me writing. And when they watch it, we writing together,
Mhm.
And I tell them like, this is for you. This is your journal. Like you upload a picture, but cross out whatever you want. Only take a picture of what you feel comfortable sharing. Like I've really emphasized like the necessity of us having a writing practice that's private. That's just for us.
Mhm.
I have so many journals, like journals on journals, because I run through my journals. I write through a journal in a month. Like 1 month,
Mhm.
I go through a journal and I'm always writing. And I love that it's like my secrets, like it's my relationship with myself that I'm developing. So I love how you talked about it being private and personal. And I love you getting to that point where like it's like you're in your process with your writing and you're clarifying what's just for you and what you want to share. And
Mhm.
you needed all the stuff that nobody else is going to see to get to what you want to
Yep,
share.
exactly.
And that what you want to share with the world is really what you want to share with you first. That's inviting you into your tears, into your healing. And it's so powerful because we talk about like in order to heal you have to feel, and the fact that you're inviting yourself through your own truth telling and writing and creativity, you're inviting yourself into your feelings so that you allow other people to. And I have told Britt this, that like I can cry to her songs all day. Brittany's voice and the songs that she writes and sings help me so much in my healing. So I thank you for that gift. And thank you for your own personal process that allows you to get to that point where you're able to share. Thank you, sis. Ish or see if any of y'all want to answer next, just about your own personal writing process.
Yeah, I would love to. And Britt, I'm always blown away by I See You, Igun. It always hits my heart because I know how important it is for us to honor our ancestors, to do it together, to do it in community, and especially to teach the babies to do it. And I know that this is it's a prayer. This is a prayer. So as you talk about it, I'm like, I'm holding this prayer with you, sis, because this is major. It's major. I'm really excited to hold that book in my hand and read that to my baby who has been experiencing a lot of grief in his life. You know, I just like Britt, I realized that I have to have squad surrounding me, reminding me of who I am, reminding me to stand in my authenticity, reminding me that it's okay to be vulnerable, reminding me, you know, in really beautiful and gentle ways. I feel really blessed and highly favored to have squad in my life. And I'm realizing like, that's the way that we did it. That was always the way. The African and indigenous way is for us to do it in community and to hold each other in the process of standing in and being in our purpose, whatever that is for us as individuals, and to realize like the purpose of the community too, and how we come together for this larger community purpose. And you know, I'm finding that I am by no means qualified at all to walk this walk alone, because when I do it alone, I be scared to the point where I'm paralyzed and I can't move because I have things to say. I have parts of me to show. I have parts of me to show myself, just like you say, Rhea. I love the way you say, like, to build this relationship with myself and to, you know, to do it through my own journaling and writing process, and to be able to, you know, to be able to share unapologetically with me. I'm realizing that I am terrified. And when I have my squad, you know, that's why I think about I think about this watch guide for When the Waters Get Deep, right? When the Waters Get Deep is this powerful film. It's so powerful. It tells a story of soul development, of Be Imaginative. It is told by Kariga Bailey, who is really just sharing with us like how we've gone through these initiations, how we've gone through the most challenging experiences that life could ever throw at us, and how we navigate through it, and how we allow ourselves to tell our stories in a way that really honors the authenticity of our experiences, and could also focus on the powerful counter narratives of hope, of healing, of agency, of love, right? And when putting together this watch guide, I remember, you know, Sia came to mind immediately. Sia came to mind immediately because Sia has been such a powerful person in my life personally that has supported me with my voice as a writer. I've taken her courses. I have really I just really take to her molding and shaping. And to do this with Britt, who's a historian. Britt is a historian. She's a historian. She's a historian, and like, you make that face, but I think it's extremely important to name like you holding and knowing the integrity of our work together and what it means to tell this story in a particular way. So when Sia was talking about like being unapologetic and naming and talking, showing up in our authenticity and saying what needs to be said and not saying what doesn't need to be said, and us trusting the process in a given moment, I'm realizing like, yeah, writing for me can be personal, and I need my squad to support me with my healing journey, period. And that translates into me being able to show up as a writer, as an artist. And the last thing that I want to say about that is I noticed that when I am in the thick of whatever I'm experiencing, whether it's like pure joy, whether it's deep grief, wherever the extreme is, that's where it comes out the best for me, wherever it is. And so I noticed that I can create very easily from a place of grief, as Be Imaginative came out of my experience of grief.
Thank you so much, sis. That's so powerful. And like, just that we can't do our healing in isolation. Like we can't do it alone. And I appreciate that reminder so much. And thinking about like those extremes that we create from, and like when we're in the depths of our grief, how it can feel so debilitating at times, and yet the beauty that we produce and create and curate from the depths of our grief is sometimes like how you talked about initiation, like an invitation into the depths of our soul and into the depths of our power and our beauty and the beauty of our creativity. And I think so much of the work that Be Imaginative and Soul Development and the Song Remedy like has done, a lot of the work that we do is so powerful and so beautiful because of those depths and because of those extremes, because we've known some of the depths of our grief, we're able to experience the depths of our joy. And so I'm grateful for those extremes, and I'm grateful for balance. You know, I'm grateful for when we're able to like be in all the places that we are and it be okay, and to write and tell our truths from all of those places, and to do it in community as a central part of our own personal healing practice. Yeah, that's really powerful. So thank you, sis.
Thank you. Thank you. Therapy has also been big. My dear sis, Shirley Johnson, who is a powerful Kundalini yoga teacher, spiritual teacher, and also she's a therapist. Her and our friend group has been transformative for me.
I wanted to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, Ish. I love how you said that like our pain and our grief was like our initiation. And like
Shirley,
to
that's
go,
Shirley right there.
yeah, that's just that's such a crazy perspective. And it's like you don't want to go through this. You don't want to experience the grief. Um the pain that I felt losing my brother, and just the loss of loved ones in general is nothing that I've ever felt before. And once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. But that is so beautiful that it's like this initiation, and what we've been able to turn it into. We've been able to turn it into joy. We've been able to turn it into hope, into healing. And I just think that is like extremely powerful. And I think that we are following in our ancestors' footsteps, and we are honoring them in this way. And I just think that that's extremely dope.
Ashe.
Mm,
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you so much, Britt, and thank you, Ish, for all that power. See, I want to invite you in to just talk a little bit about your own personal healing journey and writing practice, and how, you know, writing has supported you in your process.
Mm-hmm. It's a broad question for me. It's vast. It's so hard to pinpoint any one thing. I will say that like writing my book was a very healing experience and process for me, and it was a way for me to be heard for the things that I've tried to be heard for when engaging in dialogue with certain people, and I just felt like I couldn't be heard enough. And that could be my own perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I could be the kind of person that will never feel that you feel me deeply enough. And so therefore I had to turn to, writing, because it's not another person's responsibility to necessarily feel me that deep, in every aspect. There's different people who can feel you deeply in different ways, but I'm walking like everybody owes me this deep connection. And it just, at a certain point I was like, wait a minute, they don't. I can give it, I have to explore this, with myself. So there's that. There's also, I do, like you said, journaling, a lot of journaling. I've had to throw out journals. Actually, I've journaled so much that over the years, when I moved, I was like, I'm not even gonna look at what's in this. I just can't take all this with me. So, and then there were some journals I stumbled upon, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't throw that away, because that's a story still waiting to be written. So journaling is essential. It is critical. And then it's really challenging. I have a relationship with writing, just like I have a relationship with anything else. So I started teaching my course because I thought it would get me closer to writing, and it would provide, sustain me in a way that I could, make money, and I could get back to writing. But then you find, while you're teaching, it's hard to write, even if you are teaching writing, right? It's hard to, and then you find yourself as a business owner, focusing a lot on sustaining the business. And then there's a time where I was like, well, fuck it. Do I even need to write? So I have that kind of relationship. Like, I don't even feel passionate, but I know that's just because I haven't had the downtime to really dig deep and let things flow. So yeah, writing it has been a personal narrative, has usually been my approach. So it has been healing, but I am open to exploring, wanting to explore. I am exploring other ways of writing. Yeah, so yeah.
Thank you so much for your realness. I hella resonate. Like, I be realizing in the moments when I tell my truth, I'm looking for other people to like validate and affirm it. Like, whether it's like a head nod or a face, or I'm looking for people to tell me that my truth is real or is valid or is, so when you talked about writing as a way to be like, nobody owes me that. And like, yes, we deserve to be affirmed. And also, like, nobody can affirm our truth like we can. And so that's
right.
why starting with our own, like, I told my students the most important person to tell your truth to is yourself. And now
right.
that I had heard from Tarana Burke, like her talking about like, when we saying me too and telling our truths of sexual abuse and sexual assault, it's like, it's really like we got to be able to tell ourselves our truth. And I was a young person who told my truth to crowds of people all the time. From age 13, I was traveling all around Philly. I'm from Philly. I was just sharing my truth with everybody, but I never could share my truth with myself. So I was longing for everybody else to tell me my truth was real or it was valid or it mattered, because I couldn't do that for myself. And I'm still struggling. I wrote my first book, and I have to read my book to myself to remind myself of my truth. And sometimes I can't read it. Sometimes I'll be like, I need a break from that book. It's a lot. It's intense. But I think that's so powerful what you said, just how like writing is an opportunity to reflect myself back to myself, for us to tell ourselves our own truth and not need other people to head nod or, affirm. Like, telling me my own truth is enough. And then I can have, like Ish talked about, squad and community who can be the affirmation on top of the foundation of the affirmation of my truth that I've already given myself. So I appreciate
Can I also acknowledge, I love how you said you read your own book sometimes. Like, you've written it, you've read it, but you read it sometimes to yourself. that is the biggest benefit I have found of everything that I've done. I've recorded music and I've written the book, and I found that sometimes when I'm in a certain place, nothing else can reach me like my own work that I've created. And I'll put on my music and I'll listen to it and I'll read my book and I'm like, yes, yes. So it's a gift you give to yourself. It really is a powerful gift that you give to yourself that a lot of people don't, I think they underestimate that a lot of people start off writing thinking they have to write for a fictitious audience. And you don't, you just have to write for yourself. Because you are at least 10,000 people.
Well,
so if you like it, 10,000 people gonna like it.
That's deep.
So deep.
If I like it, 10,000 people gonna like it. That's deep. You know, I was meditating on that today. I was doing my Karani Kriya meditation. I'm in Shirley's self-devotion sadhana, and just this meditation dedicating myself to myself for 40 days. And I was meditating and I'm praying. And I realized, like, wow, how many people in the world feel how I feel right now and are praying and meditating right now in this moment. Like, I am connected to so many people right now, and it's Ramadan right now. Like, I'm connected to so many people right now. And I think that's so deep that, you know, when I tell my story, that I am helping, I mean, somehow, some way, because we are connected with one another, and we don't always know that we're connected with one another. And I just think that is just so powerful to think about. I'm also thinking about Mama Myra. Mama Myra is a founding mother of Be Imaginative. She honors her ancestor child, Deontay Jones. And one of the things that she said as she was talking about her healing process, and she said this in the Kariga's song, The Rose of Sharon, opens up with Mama Myra's voice. And you hear her talking about, you know, she's like, when I feel myself going to that dark place, I grab my pen, I grab my pencil, and I write, good, bad, ugly, I write it all. And she was talking about how she, you know, when she finds herself broken, but she's putting the pieces back together again. And I just think that is such a powerful prayer right there.
Thank you so much, East.
Sure.
I got chills up my whole body, and y'all are bringing me to the next question, which is just about community. And y'all already, it's so deep because it's like how you see your own healing journey personally is so deeply interconnected with community. And I think that's what's so powerful about the work that each of y'all do, is that like you heal yourself so that you can give to community. And I think it's really powerful how y'all can't even separate the two. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't talk about your personal healing journey without honoring and acknowledging community. So I want to transition there to see, you know, like how do you use your writing and your truth telling to support the community work that you do? And Britt, I saw you was about to unmute, so whatever you was feeling moved to share, please do. And you know, whoever.
I completely forgot, but it was something that had to do with what Ish was saying, but I forgot now. But I will say that I think I've had beautiful examples of what it's like to have a self-healing journey and then to share that with community. I always say this every time we do a B Times Remedy event, that a lot of why I created that event was for selfish reasons. It was for myself, but I shared as a reflection. And this is what I did want to say that I remember. It's amazing to me how every time we have an event, I'll just be so in my head, and I'll be thinking like, are people gonna want to do this? Do they feel like this is corny, or do they want to go here? Because I know, and it's me projecting, because it's me thinking about my journey and how long it took me to open up. And I told Ish this, you know, when I was sitting in Be Imaginative circles, I didn't want to be in that space. I didn't want to be vulnerable. It was scary for me. And because they created a space that felt safe, I was able to do so. So it's amazing to me how every time we're in a space, how people share, and then you see all these different synchronicities, and you see how people's stories align, and it's like, whoa, you needed this too. Like I needed it, you needed it, we needed it in the same way. And it just kind of like keeps going on and on and on, and it never stops. There has never been one time when we've been in a room together and we've healed, and we've shared our stories and shared our journey to healing, that one person, that every single person in that room has not resonated with it. So yeah, I just want to say that, like it's scary. It's scary. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't want to show up in that way. And sometimes I try to talk myself out of like showing up. And every time I do it, it's so damn rewarding and it's so healing. But it's hard. It's hard, and it's hard to show up, but it's worth it. So
That brings me, Britt, to like this whole piece around storytelling, right? Because it's like, and our own healing experiences. Because sometimes we can't. Sometimes grief is paralyzing. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes it don't even come out. And I can think about so many times where it wouldn't come out for me, or it wouldn't come out for one of us, and then it's our responsibility to do that storytelling, especially in where it's a moment of advocacy or where somebody needs it, you know, as best as we can with the information that we have and the ways that we can show up to tell these stories. That's also something that's really powerful, is that even if we take turns being like broken, we're in our brokenness, like we got to rebound and take that moment to rebound, so that when we can come to these healing spaces, that we can show up fully, and we can show up fully in all of our authenticity, and to give, give, because you right in that, like for us to have to take care of ourselves. And yes, I love the way you said it, be so many different synchronicities. Like me taking care of myself became a synchronicity, and now I see that me and somebody else is radically interconnected, and now we just created this experience somehow, some way, that pours into our community by me taking care of me, and you, Britt, taking care of yourself and giving yourself what you need, just like, and sharing that with our community. And I'm also learning, like, I also need that time for me, and me only, and me, and that's it, and me, which is a new lesson for me, a new lesson that I've gotten for a long time. I understood it in theory, but in practice, I wasn't quite there. So I'm just really thankful, blessed, honored to be here. Thankful that I got Squad in my life who continues to help me remind myself of who I am. Thank you, Ree.
Yeah, thank you, Ish. And it's so deep. It's so deep how you say that, because it's that balance, right? Between what do I need? Like sometimes I think about it like this, like I need me first and foremost. And I had said there was a phase where I was feeling like I was giving more than I had. And I was like, I keep feeling like Black women need me, but I need me too. And I need me more. And they can't need me more than I need me. And so if I don't give me to me, then I'm not going to have a me to give to other people. You know what I'm saying? And so I think like that, going back to what Britt said about privacy, like we need, like there's a difference between what's just for us and what's for everybody. My little khaki Monty wants to make an appearance. He is saying Ashe, but you know, there's a difference. There's a difference between what is like private and what is public. And I think I spent so much of my life as a young person, truth teller, feeling like I had to give everything to everybody, all the detailed pieces, droplets of my truth. I had to squeeze out my truth in service of everybody. in a way that was actually doing a disservice to myself. And when I realized that I have permission to be private, I have permission to have a really intimate relationship with my truth, and I get to choose and decide when and how and where and in what context I share that truth, it allowed me to be more expansive with what I was able to give because I had clarity, you know. So I affirm that, Ish, and I appreciate you sharing the new lessons, right? Because we still learning. It's still so much we don't know. I'm learning so much in this moment just from y'all, you know. So I think that's what I also emphasize is this healing, truth telling, being a writer and a storyteller. It's like such a lifelong journey of learning how to be with ourselves, with our truths, with our healing. And we never figure it all out. But I think it's so powerful, each you naming like this as a new lesson. I just want to affirm you in that and say I'm proud of you for that, because we don't always give ourselves permission to learn that lesson. So thank you, sis. Yeah, I want to invite Sia in if you want to share any pieces around your community work, how your personal writing and narrative storytelling impacts your community work. And I want to also just invite y'all to talk about this watch guide that y'all co-created as a sisterhood of Black women writers and storytellers, as one example of how y'all's personal healing journey has made room for others in our communities.
Well, I would say I was a public school teacher for almost 20 years. I feel like that was my community service. But more recently, you know, I did when the pandemic hit and we were all sheltered in place, and then I did a series of workshops, donation-based workshops, and it was really a powerful experience for me to do that, to see that. And it was donation based, and they pay me afterwards, take the workshop and pay me afterwards. And it was really a powerful experience, very exciting. So I immediately, that's what comes to mind in terms of community based that I can think of at the moment.
So yeah, in 20 years, I'm like, hold on, because you don't look old enough to have been teaching for 20 years. So I'm trying to do the math and confused.
No, I'm 48. I know. That's people don't know.
Can I just say, can I say something about Sia's writing courses and the community that she creates? Like, I'm telling you, this woman knows how to create a really safe space for artists. Erykah Badu be like, keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. It be scary sometimes, but she knows how to cultivate this environment of safety. And like, she got strategies, tools, experiences that she just be pouring into this space that just be oozing out so magically. And I just gotta add some appreciation for you, because you know, especially with the collaborations that you've done with Be Imaginative and Our Mothers and Our Collective, you know, it can be so vulnerable to tell these stories, but you do it in a way that like your process is really powerful, and it pulls some stuff out of us that, first of all, you didn't pull some stuff out of me I didn't even know was in there.
I'm grateful
Period.
that you invited me to share,
Yeah.
to have that experience with.
And this watch guide is, you know, very much about, it's an extension of our work. It's an extension of our work. Like, as Be Imaginative has been around holding healing spaces with soul development, now the Song Remedy, like life-changing writing, like we've been providing these powerful healing spaces, and we physically are able to be there to help create the container of safety to hold people as we talk through our challenges and tell these powerful stories of empowerment. But this guide is an extension of our work, to be there for folks who want to watch the film, because the film is heavy, but it's also really powerful, and we don't want to leave people high and dry. Britt always talk about not wanting to leave people wide open without the tools to be able to navigate these experiences, and that's what the watch guide is here for. So for those of you who are interested, we invite you to go. You can find it on beimaginative.org. And you go to When the Waters Get Deep. You can watch our documentary film done in collaboration with KQED Arts, and you can look through the watch guide because there are some powerful resources there to help support you in your grieving processes.
Thank you so much, sis. And I would love if y'all can just throw all of the links in the chat so I can read them out loud. Whatever links, Sia, we need all the links to your courses, okay? I think me and my students are gonna need to enroll, so we just need the details on how to do that. Britt, if we could get all the links to the Song Remedy, to your music, like whatever links y'all can please throw in the chat so that I can read them out loud for folks who are watching the video, for my students and for our community, so we can learn more about how to tap in with y'all, how to access the healing tools that y'all offer to the community, for us to do our writing and our healing and our truth telling. So I'm gonna just read off. We got lifechangingwriting.com with Sia to take Sia's courses. From Ish, we have beimaginative.org/when the waters get deep. Also, Sia is on Instagram at lifechangingwriting. Britt, we ready for the Song Remedy? Is that the website? Yep, the songremedy.com. Okay. So please, okay, also at the Imaginative Collective on Instagram. So please, y'all, check out the work. For all of you watching, this is just a little introduction into the power and the brilliance and the transformation of these Black women truth tellers and storytellers. I'm so moved by y'all, so honored to share this space. And I just want to invite y'all for any last thoughts, any closing words before we transition. Please feel free to leave the students in our community with any final thoughts or words.
Ashe, I just want to say, Ree, thank you so much. Like, Ree, you were the first ever guest that we had for our Be the Remedy collaboration, Joy and Pain Like Sunshine and Rain, and the authenticity, the power, your book, your story that you shared. Like, I am still in awe of the ways that you show up for yourself first and foremost, and yourself, you as you show up for your students, your community, and so many people who have gone, who have the same experiences or similar experiences as you share just so powerfully, so boldly. I am so inspired by you, and I'm so thankful for you, and also thankful to all of your students who are watching this and witnessing this right now. So much love to you, and so much ashe to your voice, to your authentic voice. Blessings on blessings on blessings to each of y'all. And thank you to my sisters, Sia and Britt. I love y'all so much. Thank you, Ree. I love you.
Love you too, sis. I actually wanted to remind us that we actually have an event coming up on the 23rd. We are doing a sound bath on the beach, Alameda Beach. It's called the Sounds of Sunset. So you can check that out on my Instagram. I didn't put my Instagram, but it is the Song Remedy. Yeah. And yeah, we've been doing events that creating safe spaces. So we're gonna be doing it at the beach this time. It's probably gonna be cold, but it's still gonna be a lot of healing. And I would like to leave people with tap into community, tap into tribe, and always use that to the max. Take care of self first, but definitely tap into community, because like I said, I got some beautiful sisters around me that I don't know where I would be without y'all. So the Song Remedy, everything, all the healing stuff that I got going on is as a result of me having beautiful reflections to continue this work and keep developing new ways to heal. Well, it ain't new because our ancestors did it first, but yeah.
That sound bath sounds so yummy. Even if it's cold, it's gonna be cold and yummy. So
Yep. Bring a jacket,
um
blanket.
bring a jacket, bring a little chair, a little blanket. I just want to thank you, Ree, for this opportunity, for Aisha for reaching out to me and making sure that I came and that I committed because I've been having issues with commitment lately. She was harassing me, and I'm like, dang, why she harassing me? And I was like, oh yeah, I be having problems with commitment lately. But so yeah, this was beautiful. I look forward to meeting you in person, Ree, and I'm grateful to be on here with all of y'all. And yeah, thank you.
Thank y'all so much. I feel so moved. Like, even what we were saying when we doing stuff for community, it end up being for us. I thought I was just putting a little panel together for my students, but y'all really just did this for me. So y'all, I've been struggling. Yeah, I've been having a hard time. I've been in a season of depression and just having a hard time. So like just being able to be in this truth telling with y'all. And even I just want to say to my students teaching this class, like every time I journal with my students, because the class is about truth telling, I can't journal no lies. Like, so when I sit down to journal for this class, like I force myself to tell the stuff that I'm wanna stray away from the most, like the scariest truths. And so I just thank my students for being like a community of truth tellers. And I thank y'all for being a part of this community. And I just want to encourage all of us to say the scariest things, you know, to say the ugliest truths, because the truth really do set you free. It set your body free, it set your soul free, it set your spirit free. And we don't have to be held hostage by the truths we're afraid to say, that we can name them, we can write them, even if it's just for ourselves. And that, again, to what Britt said, this ain't new, right? We come from a lineage and a legacy and a genealogy of Black women who have been brave enough to tell their truths, right? Like Alice Walker, Bell Hooks, Audre Lorde, Ntozake Shange. Like, we come from a lineage of Black women who were unapologetic in their processes of saying what was true, even when it was hard. So I want to honor all of those writers. I want to honor y'all. I want to thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. And again, at The Song Remedy on Instagram, at Be Imaginative Collective on Instagram, at Life Changing Writing on Instagram. Please check these powerful Black women storytellers out to learn more. Thank y'all. I love y'all.
Thank you,
Also,
honey.
if you want to learn more, yeah, thank you. And blackwomanhealing.com to learn more about my courses and my classes and my healing work. That is Black Women with the X, blackwomanhealing.com. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace.